Right. One of my favorite films is The Matrix. There's a t-shirt / meme online that says The Matrix was a documentary, and I think it's kind of true because it's representative of modern reality. So The Matrix is set in a dystopian future where humans are harvested by machines in order to extract their energy and use it to power up these Lord machines. So essentially, human bodies are stacked in these really high buildings, high towers, where throughout the day their energy is taken out. They have babies. The babies have pretty much the same destiny. They're plugged into these machines to take their energy out. So really, the human body is just used to generate power and have more babies to do the same. While at the same time, the body and the brain is plugged into this virtual reality. So humans are essentially slaves, but they can live this parallel reality, which is what we see as the world out there. And they go through this fake life, really unknowing that they're being milked and being used by a different being that dictates the mission of their life and keeps them caged into these buildings, but also into this virtual reality. The reason why I think this is representative of modern reality is that, number one, people do spend most of their days in tall buildings, being milked of their energy and being paid a really small wage for it. Most of them have as a mission having kids and raising them to have the same life, go to the same offices, pay the same taxes and have more kids. No one's really playing by their strengths. They just live in this humdrum life where they're just used to power up something else. The only difference I see with The Matrix is that even though AI is quite popular as a villain nowadays, as a future villain to human survival, well, I think that in modern reality, the Lord, the dictator that chooses how to use human lives, that powers up thanks to extracting that energy from humans, are actually corporations. Corporations and governments have grown so much that they don't depend on any human. If you take Apple, Steve Jobs dies, you just replace him with Tim Cook, the company doesn't really change. If you take IBM or any other big corporation, you fire 300,000 people, the company's still there. You take a government, you take a nation, you can change part of the geography, you can change the government, you can change, really the apparatus remains there. And so all these big governments, big corporations, they have transcended the individual, they have transcended human scale, and they've become their own entity really. And they are in competition with the individual. They try to keep the individual separate and isolated so that they can milk them of their energy and really give them a very small wage. That wage keeps them slave to a salary, but also keeps them slave to spending their money, consuming more, which in turn generates more profits for those big corporations and more taxes for those big governments. Most people are plugged into a virtual reality, whether it's social media, and they've created some sort of avatar on them. They live their lives so they can take pictures and share them on Instagram. And really even dating and meeting people has become more and more virtual. Not just with Tinder, but even OnlyFans and other platforms where people kind of masturbate instead of having a life. And it's not just literal masturbation. It can be, instead of working on my passion, learning a new craft, instead of working by my strengths, I kind of play around them and always dream to have my dream life, but I'm stuck in this cubicle. And so in that situation, we are imprisoned in big towers. If you think about central London, central New York, it doesn't look that different from Machine City in The Matrix. But here's the good news. The main character, whose name is Neo, or Mr. Anderson, can't remember his first name, actually breaks out of this virtual reality, breaks out of the cubicle as well, of the tall tower where his body is used to power up other machines, and actually uses this reality to his advantage. He plays this game to his advantage, conscious that these are the rules of the game, creates his own reality, creates his own life, can even fly. And I think this is the beauty of the parallel of real life and The Matrix. The fact that once you see that this is the game around you, once you see that all these big corporations, big entities, big governments really don't have your best interests at heart, really they've transcended the human scale, they just have their own interests at heart. They just want to survive just as much as you want to survive. And the moment you understand that, you can break away of the beliefs that keep you shackled into this matrix, and you can live your life and you can use all the opportunities that are available to us in this modern world, which really are unique. Both the challenges, the shackles, and the opportunities that we face in the modern world, pretty unique. Once you see them, once you break out of the matrix, then you can kind of fly by creating your own reality, creating your own lifestyle, and really finding the right people around you to have a great life and share a mission with them. So it's your turn to be Morpheus and break out of the matrix.